God says you're on the right track, my child. God says you're on the right track, my child. God says you're on the right track, my child. God says you're on the right track, my child. God says you're on the right track, my child. I know that's right. You know, when it starts with healing, it will never be an overnight process. Because wearing a mask is not part of the process. And genuinely getting tuned to who you truly are was part of the plan from day one. So you be able to be your best self vision of yourself. But, you got sidetracked by trauma, abandonment issues, being sexually assaulted, disrespected, all those unhealthy traits that was installed within you, and you just want to show up for yourself. And when it starts with healing, it's actually having self-awareness. Because when you have self-awareness, you can truly understand what you're going through at the moment. Not just at the moment, but what you're genuinely experiencing. Not what just happened, but what your mindset is trying to register. Like, listen, what just happened to me, this was not okay. And this is not the norm. This is not the norm. For someone to show up for themselves and try to be their best self vision, but they keep getting sidetracked and distracted because the enemy or the devil allows this to believe that this is the norm, to be distracted. Because something that was so endured within you, that was not even in your control. Before you can say, I want to love myself the right way. You didn't even know how to love yourself the right way. Because you endured trauma. You endured all these negative, toxic traits within you for you to show up for yourself. And you're just trying to find the proper balance to show up for yourself. But when you have these tools that God installed within you, self-awareness, self-respect, self-control, self-discipline, self-confidence, self-care, self-value, self-love, self-worth, self-peace, self-patience, and healthy boundaries, to have balance within yourself, to show up for yourself, to elevate in a healthy way, to blossom, to become your best self vision of yourself. So when you look at your reflection in the mirror and you genuinely get in tune with yourself and say, you know what? Self. Today's a different day. Today's a better day, actually. But how can I actually mean what I say and say what I mean when I look at my reflection? When it doesn't make sense sometimes. It starts to become a blur. And then you feel like you're going back to your same old ways because you don't know how to start your healing process. God did not install within you for you to be discouraged. God did not install within you for you to live in fear. God installed within you to be patient, for you to have patience for yourself. Because, when you believe in God and God believes in you and you believe in the God within you for you to show up for yourself, God understood the assignment for you because he allowed your assignment to be created before you was even here. So when you got here, you just had to understand, like, okay, well, you know what? How do I show up for myself now? How do I show up for myself? And these people that just came into my life allow me to go through this bad storm, and they can't even respect me. But I still know how to respect myself in some way and somehow. And I know that it's not the norm to go against my neighbor. I know it's not the norm. But how do I show up for myself without having these unhealthy distractions? When you reevaluate your thought process and look at your reflection in the mirror, and when you're tuned in with God, you ask God to send you the genuine people that's going to truly love you and respect you. Because not everybody's deserving of your time. And especially when you're dealing with your healing process, not everybody's meant to be part of that process. And I say that respectfully because it's not a crime to have freedom of speech. It's not a crime. No, it's not. But when you start your healing process, it's a process within a process for you to be healthy within, for you to feed yourself with healthy words. Feed yourself with healthy words so you can understand your process for yourself. To understand that they're going to try to distract you so you won't show up for yourself. They're going to distract you to allow you to believe you think you better than somebody because you're starting your healing process. You don't know what they don't know what you just overcame. They don't know what you're going through mentally, physically, spiritually. They don't know what you're going through emotionally. They don't know what you're going through. But they're so quick to judge you, but they don't even know who they are. So don't even let their mindset even bother you. Because it's okay, because God going to deal with them on his time. Don't worry about them. So when you allow those negative distractions to not affect your life, because you have self-awareness, you have self-control, you have self-discipline to show up for yourself, when you genuinely get in tune with yourself, the right people, when you start your healing process, will truly be for you. And you'll know who's who. Without you feeling like you're wearing a mask, or you feeling like, you know what? This person's making me feel uncomfortable. I got to reevaluate my thought process. Now, when you get in tune with yourself, when you start your healing process, you would never have to have one foot in one door and one foot in the other door, because it would never make sense in your book as far as your journey moving forward. Because getting in tune with your healing process, when you look at your reflection in the mirror, you're stepping forward to better days ahead. And you're saying to yourself, you know what? God installed patience within me so I can be able to elevate, so I can understand what self-awareness is, to be patient with my process, to understand self-respect, to be patient with my process. You know when you love someone, you have patience to grow to love them, right? Just like these tools that God installed within you: self-awareness, self-respect, self-control, self-discipline, self-confidence, self-care, self-value, self-love, self-worth, self-peace, self-patience, and boundaries. So you can understand your process for yourself. It's not going to be easy to relive certain moments, but when you have your triggers throughout your time of your journey, you have triggers within your life because you never started your healing process. So you're not understanding why you're having these triggers, why you have to go pick up a drink or pick up a substance to go ease your mind and relax your mind and make yourself feel better today. You don't have to do that. Because when you're tuned in with God, and I say this respectfully, it's not a come have freedom of speech, but when you're tuned into God, God guides you. And when you ask for the proper guidance from God, God is going to guide you with your healing process. When you ask God to remove anybody that does not serve any purpose around you, he starts to remove them. And it becomes more clear as day as to, you know what? I think I'm showing up for myself. It feels a little bit different today. Because now I'm looking at my reflection. I can actually see myself without it being a mask on my face. Because you know why? I don't have one foot in one door and the other foot in the other door to show up for myself. I'm being patient within my process of showing up for myself, because God is patient with me. So I understood the assignment when God said, be patient with yourself and never give up. Because God said, I didn't give up on you, my child. You know, that energy hit different when you're tuned in with God. And I say that respectfully. No disrespect or shape or form. You know, because I'm entitled to freedom of speech just like you are. I respect my neighbor and I can stay in my lane without disrespecting my neighbor. They said never judge a book by its cover. You might get psyched out your own thought process, let alone your eyesight. Especially when your neighbor's not disrespecting you or has malicious intentions to bring harm towards you or others around you. It's okay to respect your neighbor and stay in your lane. But when it starts with healing, you have to understand that you always have to be real with yourself. Not only just real with yourself, but you got to be real and firm with yourself. What you experience, and you want to be your best self vision of yourself. And it starts with you when you look at your reflection. It starts with you when you look at your reflection. Days when you couldn't see for yourself in the mirror, you felt like you was this ugly person. Why me? Why me? Why me? Crying. Couldn't get in tune to your thought process. Allowing everybody around you to believe that you was okay when you wasn't. Just trying to find yourself. But you found yourself. And you genuinely meant what you said when you said what you said. That you genuinely wanted to start your healing process. When your healing process started with you. Just because someone gave up on you, don't give up on yourself. Just because someone overlooked you, don't give up on yourself. Never allow the enemy or hate in the sky suck you out your thought process, let alone your freedom. Now you genuine love, respect. Have a good day. I truly appreciate your time. Love yourself with God's protection.